Simon says subscribe and click on the bell icon to receive notifications.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to our Google Drive training. In this lesson, we're going to begin moving left to right across the Google Drive window by starting with the navigation. Once you log into Google Drive from a web browser, your screen will look similar to this. Along the left, we have our navigation. Along the top, we have our search, and on the right, we have things such as offline access, support, the settings, our Google Apps widget, and our account. Just below that, you have access to filters, your display, and also looking at details. In the center of your screen is your Google Drive files. If you have it turned on, the suggested files are at the top, and below that will be your other folders and files that are in your drive. Also, here in this view, you can see along the top you have a couple built-in filters, such as filtering by file type, people, or last modified. So let's go down our navigation here on the left. Here we have the New button, where we can create new files and new folders or upload existing content. Below that, you will see My Drive. Think of that as Home or Documents. If you have Google Workspace, whether it be for education or business, you will see Priority listed just above My Drive. Next, we have computers, so if you're syncing with a desktop or a laptop, which we're going to go into detail about later, you'll see those here. Below that, you have Shared with Me. Now, this gives you quick access to files or folders that have been shared with you by other Google users. So if someone recently shared a file with you, instead of going to your email or searching your drive for that file, you might find it quicker to just simply go straight here to the Shared with Me. This is a great place for you to use those filters at the top, such as searching for a file type, or even the person who shared the file with you. The really great news about this is that the files in Shared with Me and in the shared drives do not take up your storage space. That is unless you have added the file to your drive, all of which we're going to take a closer look at in this course. Speaking of shared drives, you'll see that listed here if you're a Google Workspace user through business or education. Let's continue, and next up is Recent. This is one of the areas of navigation that you may visit frequently. Sometimes this could be the quickest way for you to get to a file and pick up where you left off instead of searching through your drive or navigating through multiple folders. This is also a great place to go if you happen to have maybe forgotten where you placed that file or which folder you placed it in, or you're trying to search but you're not coming up with the correct title. Next up, we have Starred. Similar to working with Gmail, you can star a file or a folder, and everything that has a star on it will be located under Starred. Think of this as creating quick access links, or think of it as creating bookmarks for files or folders. Now, the key with using stars, and we're going to go into more depth about this later, the key is to really just keep this down to a small list of folders and files and frequently update it. So for example, if you're currently working on some sort of project and frequently visiting a set of files and folders, you would want to put a star on those so that you can come here and quickly access them and pick up where you left off. However, when that project is over, you're going to make sure to remove that star so that you can keep this list here short and sweet and easy to navigate. I'm sure, as you can imagine, having 1,000 files listed here would defeat the purpose of this feature, right? Now, also similar to Gmail, you have spam. If you happen to have files that end up located here, they will be permanently removed after 30 days. And then we also have trash. Again, these files are deleted forever after 30 days. And last on our navigation is our storage. You do have just below your storage button a visual that is shown at all times so that you know just how much space has been used, but you can click on the storage button to find all of the information that you need. What is great about this page is that it's automatically sorted in descending order. So at the top of your page, will have all of your files that are taking up the most space. Oftentimes, these are things such as videos. So this is a great place to come and investigate your storage space and deleting items to free up space if needed. Hi everyone, and welcome back to our Google Drive training. In this lesson, we're going to look at some special settings and getting your offline access to your files turned on. We have been working our way left to right across our Google Drive, so the last thing is the top right corner. First up, we have offline access. By clicking on this, you will see your options to have an offline preview. When turning this on, notice which files become grayed out. This is showing you which files you will be able to access when offline and which files are not available offline. What this means is that you are able to continue to edit those files without an internet connection, and once the connection is established again, it will sync with those changes that you have made and appear across everywhere that file is located. If you are going to be offline for an extended period of time, this is a very helpful feature. If there are files that are shown as unavailable while offline, but you know that you want that file while offline, you can come down to that file, right-click, and select Available Offline. Notice that files that are available for offline access are noted with the same symbol that you see in the top right corner. Now, when I click Offline Preview in the top right corner, the same file that was not available offline now is available. Again, this means I can edit the file while offline, meaning no internet connection, and once an internet connection is established again, the changes will sync with Google Drive, thus updating the file everywhere it is located across all of my devices. Next up here in the top right corner is support. So this will take you to Google Support, the Google Training Center, which is filled with a lot of help guides, and you can check out the updates or the terms and policies. Don't be shy with that last option and send your feedback to Google. Next up is settings. When clicking on the settings gear, you have the options of settings. You also have that option of the Google Drive for the desktop app. And then you also have a list of keyboard shortcuts, which we will cover later. Let's go into settings. These settings are broken into a couple of categories. So first up is your general. Some of these settings will be similar to Gmail, such as your density choices of comfortable, cozy, and compact. By default, you will be set to comfortable, but if you want to have less space in between text and rows, you can select compact. Scrolling down, if you know that you have a lot of Microsoft Office files and you would prefer that those were just automatically converted to the Google version, you can select this button here that says Convert Uploads to Google Docs Editor Format. We'll discuss this more in depth in an upcoming lesson. Next up is enabling that offline access that we were just looking at. Make sure that this button is selected if you want to create, open, and edit any type of documents or files on this device while you're offline. Next, down here towards the bottom, we have the option to turn on or turn off those suggested files, as well as to set the language and look at managing the search history. Now let's look at notifications. This section you may want to check and turn items on or turn them off. Here you can set to have updates about Google Drive items in your browser, or you can get it by email. If a file is shared with you, how would you like to be notified? And last, we have the ability to manage our apps. This is where you can use certain apps as your default. You can also select the options to view the product page or disconnect the app from your drive. As you add more apps, this list will grow, so I suggest you come back here frequently. Use the back arrow to return to Google Drive. And the last two buttons you have in the top right corner are your Google Apps widget along with your Google account, which is standard across your other Google tools. Awesome! Meet me over in the next lesson where we talk about the new button. See you there!
If you're not a subscriber, click down below to subscribe so you get notified about similar videos we upload. To see the full course that this video came from, click over there. And click over there to see more videos from Simon Says It.